You join me today for the penultimate episode of this year's To Be a Legend as we try and finish as high as we possibly can in the Championship. Remembering that we were on a very, very poor run. Have we managed to turn it around? Let's go and find out. Hello, and it's a very warm welcome to episode 99 of To Be a Legend, the penultimate episode in this year's series, which means we will finish on episode 100. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have the final two games of our season, the 2027-28 season in game, and it is our final game of FM23 in this particular series, as we will come back with one final episode, which will be a roundup of the series and what's gone on and how we've done and so on and so forth. And of course, remembering that this series is called To Be a Legend, and the whole point of it, of course, is that we want to end up the end of the series being called a legend at the club that we chose right at the outset. And we will look tomorrow. Tomorrow on the next episode, we will have a look and see what and whether we have actually achieved that. Games today against Bristol City in the Championship, match day 45, and then we're at home for the final game of the series against Watford in Championship, match day 46. Just before we go any further, don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And not forgetting, with FM24 may even be released. I'm recording this on Friday. It may well be that the beta is released today. We don't know. Normally 2 weeks before, so we're thinking next Friday. But there's been a few rumours sparking about that it might become a week earlier. So we will see. If it does, you'll have FM24 content to contend with next week as well. Lots of it, I've no doubt, from all the creators. But don't forget, stay tuned to this channel. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy FM23 as we explore together when the beta version comes out. Don't forget, if you want to buy the FM24, then there is a link below to Fanatical and a code. And if you use that, you save yourself some money and help the channel as well. And it's a big thank you from me. Right, since you were last with us, then we need to be going on this camera. I keep this, I don't know what it is. The camera keeps moving. Yeah, what have we been doing? Because we were on a very, very poor run, I can tell you. And I know you'll say I've done this because it's off camera. I assure you it is not. We've just, as you'll see, we were starting to find our feet. We're starting to score goals. We were getting very close to winning these games. I know Sunderland were top of the table, so to be honest, didn't expect to beat them. But Middlesbrough were very, very close, and we only lost that right at the last doings, of course, right in injury time. Should have been a draw, and I think we would have seen the trajectory out of this little run. But of course, then we played Ipswich Town, who were bottom of the table. And you would have thought, well, that's going to be a disaster area. It could have been, but we did win it 3-1. And the notable out of all of this, since we've changed the formation and playing Tegan Pelling effectively in the position that he prefers, which is a deep line forward, seem to have hit the ground running, don't we? So here we go. Against Ipswich, we had 11 shots, only 6 of them on target. I say only 6, more than 50%, 2.29 on the XG. They played very well. 10 shots, 3 on target, 1.97. And when Rory McLeod got a goal after 4 minutes, we thought, here we go again. But Joe Tomlinson did equalise 2 minutes later to make it 1-1, at least making it look half decent. And then Tegan Pelling, he managed to get another goal after 21 minutes, which give us a 2-1 lead. And for the second time in 2 matches, we'd actually taken the lead in a match. Abu crossing this ball in. Called for a penalty. That was Burrows, but Pelling, the ball fell to Pelling. Pelling wasn't waiting to see if the referee blew his whistle, stuck it in the back of the net. It was a little bit uncomfortable at times. We were expecting possibly them to draw at some point, and then in the virtually injury time, this happened. Costello got the ball, whacked it in the back of the net. He wasn't for giving up, and we won that one 3-1, which was rather splendid. And then we went to Steel City, Sheffield United for our next game. 0-0 at half time. We had 18 shots in this game, 9 of which were on target, 50%, 2.07 on the XG, 55% of the possession. They had 9 shots, just held them back to 1 shot on target, 0.70 and 45% of the possession. And Taylor Richards gave us the win. I mean, it's a penalty. You're not going to see much, are you? You're just going to see Taylor Richards putting away a penalty. Why did I do that? But we'll see it anyway. There you go. Nice penalty. Whacked it right down the middle. Goalkeeper stood still. He saved it. But we did beat them. Unfortunately, not in open play, but we deserved to get a win out of that game. And it was a bit of a disappointment, shall I say. And then we played Stoke at home, Edgeley Park. Once again, as always seems to be the case, we went behind to a Lucas Cavenda goal after 6 minutes. Really annoying, this goal, to be honest. We'll have a quick look at it. This ball out wide. Lorient. And I'm not sure whether Maher was coming out for that and completely missed it or what was going on. But it went over the top of Maher's head, and Lucas Cavenda put it in the back of the net. That was a lead for Stoke, and then a Romain Mundle 12 minutes later did this. Joe Lewis out wide. Pelling, as I say, he's been playing very, very well. Mundle coming, stealing in, fired the shot, actually got a deflection. It didn't go where he was hoping it was going to go, but they all count, as I say. And we'll take that. And then on 34 minutes, that man of the moment, Tegan Pelling, let's hope he can do some today. I've put the kibosh on that. Lovely through ball, and he just dinks it into the back of the net. He's created the space from that deep lying position. So 2-1 at half time. Iker Mendes looked like he was going to create a little bit of an anticlimax when he did this. Chipped the goalkeeper, and not Maher's best day, I should say. And then on 90 minutes, Tegan Pelling, as I say, man of the moment. Abu, he sort of like thingied it, but the defender was trying to boot that away, and Tegan Pelling was just in the right place to nod it into the back of the net. So he's improvising as well, and a player of the match award for Tegan Pelling. 17 shots, 6 of which were on target, not 50% today. 2.33, 41% of the possession. They had 8 shots, 5 on target, 1.55 and 59% of the possession. They probably were slightly the better team, but we did them, which is all that matters, and that's the difference between losing some of these matches up here, which brings us down to our final 2 games of the season. Bristol City first up. They're in 5th place currently. We've played them 6 times in this series. We've beaten them 3 times, drawn against them 3 times. We've never lost to Bristol City in this series. Let's not go and make that happen today. At Ashton Gate, we've drawn 2-2 and beat them 3-2. We'll see what we can do today, whether we can get a result against them. And finally, we play Watford, who we've played 4 times this series, beat them 3 times, only lost to them once in the Carabao Cup first round. I think that was when we were down at the time. I think we were down in the National League or something. And we got knocked out by them. I can't remember now exactly. But 26, no, probably wouldn't have been. That would have been last season, possibly. But anyway, we've beat them every time since, both at Edgeley Park and at Watford. So let's go and continue that very good run. 2 wins today would do us rather splendid, because if you have a look at the Championship, it's set itself very nice for us to finish if we can, and dependent on other results, of course, Southampton and Sheffield just in front of us. But theoretically, if we can win both our games and Southampton and Sheffield slip up somewhere, we could actually end up in 7th place, which is a place better than we were last season and a little bit back along. Do you remember? I didn't think we were going to be able to manage to do that. So maximum 76 points we can get. It's a very outside chance. We've got to rely on Middlesbrough losing both their games, winning both our games, and Southampton and Sheffield also doing something as well in front of us. But there is still a very slight hope, and it is only a slight hope, that we could sneak in to those playoff places. Let's see whether we can go and do that. So it's Nottingham Forest, who are already promoted on 95 points at the top. Sunderland, who had a little bit of a poor run just recently. In fact, let's go to this screen. As you'll see, Sunderland have lost 2, drawn 1 of their last 5 games. So they've slipped a little bit. They're on 91 points. West Brom coming up behind them, 4 points now between them and Sunderland. I think Sunderland only need one more win to secure that. West Brom on 97, then Reading on 4th on 82. Both those have playoff places. Bristol City still need a playoff place, which puts a little bit of a dampener on today. Middlesbrough in 6th on 74. Then comes Southampton, Sheffield on 71. Ourselves on 70, and then breathing down our necks, Stoke, who we beat last time out, on 68. Then Brighton on 65. So we can keep going there. Already relegated Portsmouth and Ipswich. Hull City still battling at the bottom of the table. They've got Preston 1 point in front of them, Queen's Park Rangers 2 points in front of them, and Cardiff 3 points. It's very tight at the bottom there, and I'm sure they're going to be battling away to try and stay in the Championship. We'll see what happens to that after this next round of games. Right, without any more to do, because we're ticking away, let's go and have a look at the team that will face Bristol City. And here is the team that will face Bristol City at Ashton Gate in this Sky Bet Championship. Match full day 45. Maher is in goal. Scanlon, Bridge, Sass Davis and Mumba make up the back line. Burrows, May, Ramsey and Abu are in central mid. Costello and Burstow up front. Cartwright, Jake Lewis, Tomlinson, Richards, Hoare, Gordon and Adrizzi are on the bench. And I know what you're asking yourself. He's been praising that man, Tegan Pellin. Where is he? He's injured. I forgot to tell you. Sorry. He's pulled a hamstring and he's out. He's been out for 7 days, but we're expecting him to be out for 2 months. So we won't see him again. Might not see him. Well, won't see him again this series, but as far as the team's concerned, they might not. We've tried to see if we can secure him again for another season, but as yet, nothing has come to fruition with regards to that. So needs to be playing at our best today and see whether we can go and get this win against Bristol City. And this is how the two sides line up here at Ashton Gate. Slaven Bilic is the manager at Bristol City. Playing our 4-4-2. Bristol City in 5th place on 77. We are in 9th on 70 points. Confirmation of the two teams for you. And before we begin our first highlight of the game, sorry, I just wanted to tell you that Hull and Preston, two sides just around the relegation zone, are playing one another today. So it's obviously a 6-pointer there. And the other thing is Brighton are playing Southampton, a South Coast derby going on there. Right, we pick up this highlight with Ramsey on the ball. Ramsey goes out to Abu to Mumba. Mumba creating a bit of space for himself, comes down that wing very nicely. He's going to pull this back now. He is. Ramsey's inside. Abu's got Burstow's got a flick. He's taken a deflection. It's gone out for a corner. Burrows with the corner. It's going to be an in-swinger. Swung in, but it's headed over the top by Bridge. Corner on the other side now. May with an in-swinger. It's cleared out, and May for Ramsey. Ramsey lost that ball in the tackle, but they've not done much with it. Mumba have come forward now. Mumba has a go on his own, but it's way, way off target. And no more highlights in that first half. It's a very cagey affair. Bristol City don't want to give anything away because they're still trying to get that playoff place, and we're trying our best, and we've not done too badly. We've had 7 shots. Admittedly, only one of them has been on target. We've had 52% of the possession, 0.69 on the old XG. Bristol City have had 3 shots, have not hit the target yet, thankfully. 0.08 on the XG, and 48% of the possession. So far, so good. We just need to score goals, basically. And our first highlight of this second half, and it was Bristol City defending, and we're going to get a highlight from that kickoff. Sorry, I was busy trying to do something, and I thought I'd paused it, which I clearly hadn't, or I had and unpaused it. I'm not sure which. I was busy looking to try and do a change because we're 70 minutes in. I was thinking, but we'll get these highlights out of the way first. Walton with a goal kick, which I think was the goal kick from the chance that was had. Masango is there. It's gone out wide. I hope this isn't going to bite me in the bottom, that I haven't done the bits that I wanted to do. Bonda, it's gone in. It is biting me on the bottom. And we've gone a goal behind. Yeah, Mighty out there. Bonda in acres of space, all on his own. Has a go. In fact, I think it hit Mayher in the face and came straight off him into the back of the net. And so with 71 minutes on the clock, we're making 4 changes at this junction time. Normally don't make so many, but as I say, I was having trouble getting it paused for some reason or other. Dara Costello has come off up front. We've brought on Ismet Adrizzi to see what he can do, and we've swapped Drizzy and Burstow around. Burrows has come off on the left-hand side, and we've moved Ramsey out there. We've brought Eli King on in that central mid. Abu has come off on the right. Taylor Richards has come in on the right. He's been playing quite well of late, and we've also taken off Callum Scanlon, who was having a poor day, and we've taken him off and brought on Joe Tomlinson. Bristol City have a free kick now. Buckley with this free kick around the wall, I'm guessing. Oh, and it's come off the woodwork by the looks of it. And with 18 minutes on the clock, we're making one final change. We want to go and try and chase this game and at least get a point out of it. So we've taken off Burstow and brought on Lamar Gordon. There is a highlight, but it's not in our favour. What more for Bristol City with a free kick. And Bonda comes forward, but May steps in and wins it. But we've cut this out. Bridge. Oh, it was a poor ball. And we've been lucky there. It's all over. We've lost. And probably lost the chance of finishing higher than we did last season. And you will accuse me now of thinking offline, but I assure you I haven't. And yeah, it didn't turn out quite the way we did. They came back into that in the second half. Really 10 shots, 4 on target, 0.74, 51% of the possession. And I'll put it down to the fact that I didn't do what I usually do when they make tactical changes, make sure that we mark them and all the rest of it in the opposition settings. I was trying to do it but hadn't paused it, and of course that highlight came up and bit me in the bottom, didn't it? 12 shots, 4 on target, 1.17. We really should have won that. Didn't deserve to lose it. I think at the worst a 0-0 draw would have been a fair result, but that's how it is. Let's go and have a look and see how that affects the table with one match left to play. Well, that has blown our chance of finishing in 7th place, and Southampton still have to play, and if they win against Brighton, then the best we can finish is 9th, and which is one place lower than we finished last season. But Sheffield United, they have gone, and what have they done? They've beaten Coventry by 2-1, which means that we can't catch them. So we're not going to finish any higher than where we finished last season. And then it's a miracle if we even do that as it currently stands. We've blown our chances by not winning that game, which is really, really annoying. It's still open doors at the top. I think Sunderland, have they gone and lost again? I can't see their result there. Where is Sunderland? They did. They lost to Nottingham Forest. Top of the table clash, that one, and Nottingham Forest beating them, even though they were down to 10 men. So Sunderland slipping, and West Brom closed the gap right on them. That's going to come down to the final game of the season, with West Brom beating Portsmouth by 2-0. So that's a real humdinger. And at the bottom of the table, Hull and Preston ended up 0-0. So nothing changed at the bottom there. Still an opportunity for Hull to escape, but they've got to rely on other results in front of them. That was the golden opportunity for Hull. And as a footnote to that last one, Brighton have done us a favour. They've beaten Southampton, which means that we could still catch Southampton. It's all down to the final game of the season. I'm not quite sure. We'll have a look and see who Southampton are playing. But we need to win. That's the first thing. We've got to win. And then we'll have to see how Southampton do. But we could sneak a 8th place finish again. That's possible. And as you know, I like this screen. And as you'll see, we dominated that first half. Bristol City never really in it. They started the second half brightly. We had a little patch in the middle of that second half. But they dominated the end of the game. And I think we made too many changes in one go, really. And they caught us unaware by their changes. And we were never in it. And they snuck that goal, which gave them the win. And I just wanted to bring your attention to this news item that has come up. End of an era for Edgeley Park. Buxton's fixture against Watford will be one tinged with emotion for Buxton supporters who bid a fond farewell to Edgeley Park. Yes, of course, we've got the new stadium, and we never did get a game to play in the new stadium. The club are set to move into their brand new stadium in the near future, and will be looking to sign off with a victory in their current home. Of course we will. A capacity crowd of 10,800 is expected for the Sky Bet Championship clash on Saturday. And Buxton chairperson Brian Gordon, never give me any money, added that he hoped the match would be a spectacle for everyone in attendance. The average attendance for Buxton home games is 10,618, so it's very good. On a further note, Buxton have a 24th best average attendance in the EFL Championship. At the moment, that's because we've got a very small ground, of course. Watford will be backed by a decent number of travelling supporters, around 500 in the capacity ground to follow the team away from home. The club's objective of building a new stadium has finally been realised, and their vision for the future is very much taking shape as a result. Be interesting to see what that new ground look like. Of course, we actually get there or not. We might be able to do it in the final episode. I don't know. One other thing to note, and doesn't make any difference because we're obviously not continuing the series, but just out of interest, a transfer budget for next season, it says the minimum guaranteed budget is £501,000. Suddenly he's put his hand in his pocket. And our wage budget is 125,000. Currently 115. Well, we're spending, and we've been overspending for quite some time now. But we had to bring in a couple of players in order to try and meet that up. And our scouting budget's way over code. But yeah, I think we've done what we set out to do and established ourselves. We'll see how that all goes in due course. Right, I think it is high time that we got on to the second game of the episode, the final Coventry game of the series. It's against Watford. It's at home, as we know. We've we have lost to them once, but beat them in the last 3 games. Let's not do a Bristol City where we lose for the first time in the series to them. We don't want to do that, do we? Yeah, that was a bit ghouling, really, wasn't it? It's nice to have had a clean sheet against them. But there you go. Watford it is then. Let's go and have a look at the team that will face Watford in the final Championship match day of the season and our final commentary game of the series. So very quickly before we have a look at the team, this is the final day of the season and it's all up for grabs. As we said, Preston and Hull City at the bottom there need to shore. Preston playing Middlesbrough. Hull are at home to Cardiff. who are only a few places above them, so they could overtake them if they win that game. So a lot to play for down the bottom there. Nottingham Forest are champions on 98 points. Sunderland are second on 91. Could still miss out on automatic promotion. West Brom will be looking to get there. And West Brom, Sunderland, they're here somewhere. Can I see Sunderland? Sunderland at the bottom there. How would you have written the script, wouldn't you? Of course they are. They're playing West Brom. It's a 6-pointer. The winning team will effectively get automatic promotion. That is a huge game at the bottom there. Absolutely huge. Sheffield United still could get in to the playoffs. They need to win against Southampton, who are just below them, who can't get into the playoffs. But I guess it's between Middlesbrough and Sheffield. If Middlesbrough win their game against Preston, then they send Preston down possibly, guarantee themselves a playoff place. If Sheffield United win and Middlesbrough lose, the permutations on that. But realistically, if I'm honest, we want Sheffield to beat Southampton and we need to beat Watford to finish 8th for the second season in a row. That would be rather splendid. Let's have a look at that team then that will face Watford. And here is that team that will finish the season. In fact, Maher, I'm going to swap him out for Cartwright, mainly because... and I'm going to put him on a support instruction, I think. No, we won't. We'll put him on a defend instruction. Right. Okay, so it's Cartwright in goal then. Tomlinson, Jackson, Joe Lewis, Adofin. Jackson can only play for... 45 minutes, hence why we've got 2 defenders on the bench, because... one would be for tired people, but one will need to replace Jackson probably at half-time-ish. Ramsey, McCann, Mundell and Hoare make up our midfield. Costello and Burstow lead the attack up front. Maher, Jake Lewis, Sass Davis, Burrows, Abu, May and Gordon are on the bench. And so here we are, final game of the season. 4-4-2 is our formation, as we face Watford at Edgeley Park, the last time at Edgeley Park. Ketal Rekdal is the manager. They're playing a flat-back 3. Watford 15th on 55. We're 9th on 70 points. Confirmation of the 2 teams for you. First highlight comes 7 minutes in. And it's Costello. Please, no, he's going to get sent off. And we're down to 10 men after 7 minutes. No need to do it. Absolutely no need to do it. Deary, deary me. So we'll play one up front. We might just change Mundell. No, in fact, let's change McCann to a Mazzala on attack. Oh, no. Let's change him to Mazzala on support. We've got the attackers down on this wide side. Burstow will have to change him to a poacher on attack. And we'll just see what we can get. Adofin with a throw-in on that far side. Hoare comes inside. McCann has a go from distance. It was curling, but over the top. They have a free kick now, loser. And that one headed over the top as well, thankfully. Another free kick. We're giving free kicks away here stupidly. Oof. Getting ever closer. Half-time comes. And, both sides very reluctant to hit any doors as it currently stands. We've just had 2 shots, nothing on target, 0.09, 55% of the possession. They've had 5 shots, 0.26, 45% of the possession. It's one of those, and having got a player sent off early doors hasn't done us any good at all. And at the moment, Sheffield United are losing 1-0 to Southampton, and Middlesbrough are beating Preston. Hull still 0-0 with Cardiff. Tomlinson with a free kick, swings it in, it's deep. Burstow's come back off the woodwork. McCann back to Tomlinson. They have a corner now. Loser swings it in, it's gone over the top. Hoare, Burstow beats his man. He's still got the ball. He's got Hoare in support. Mundle over the top looking for Burstow. Burstow's in space. Burstow just puts it wide. And with 70 minutes on the clock, making 3 changes, Mason Burstow has come off. Lemar Gordon comes on for him up front. Aaron Ramsey has come off, and David Abu is on the left-hand side. And we've taken off Lewis Jackson, who supposedly only had 45 minutes out of him. We've had 70, and he's come off. Jake Lewis has replaced him. They have a free kick again. Loser. And that's in. Oh, dear. And we've gone back to our stupid ways again. Cartwright getting caught out this time. Looping header. He's come out for it. And, dearie me. And with 78 minutes on the clock and a goal behind, I suppose we've done well to not concede until so late in the game, really. We're that goal behind now, so we've made our final 2 changes. McLean Hoare has come off and has been replaced by Harrison Burrows, and we've also replaced Romain Mundle with Adam May in central midfield. Burrows and Abu swapping sides. Tomlinson with a throw in on that far side. It's a long throw. Not meeting its intended target, I don't think. And they've just all of a sudden started to show numbers against us. I think it's as we have tired. And inevitability around a second goal if we're not careful. And again, it's not the end that we wanted at Edgeley Park. And it's all down to Costello getting sent off after 7 minutes. It's gone out wide. And they're inside. Bijo inside, and good save by Cartwright. He's redeemed himself there. A corner now. May with the corner. Ooh, that would have been so good to get an equaliser, and I think we deserved it, really. Ensuing goal kick. And that's headed on, and he's into the path of Lazuza. And the numerical advantage is there, but Joe Lewis cutting that one out. A Dauphin, back to Cartwright. Don't do anything silly here. McCann goes out wide looking for Abu, who's moved out to this right side. Abu cuts inside to Gordon. Gordon, who's very deep. Gordon, can he get this ball into the area? He can. Abu's put that away. 5th goal of the season, and we're 1-1 on 85. Can we go and sneak this? Ooh, there's an idea. Very, very good play. And this is how we've played for a lot of those run of 3 games that we won. And I think today Abu steadied himself. And we haven't really deserved losing. That is for sure. What's going on here? There's going to be a free kick, I think. Oh, no. Loser is over the ball. He's taken a shot from distance, and it's gone out. Looked like he got a hand to that. And it's all over. It's a 1-1 draw, and I think that's pretty much what we deserved out of that. And we could have won that game if Costello had stayed on the pitch. Terrible. We'll be definitely giving him a pasting in the end of game team talk. But it was Jake Cooper that got a goal for them after 72. Only held the lead for 13 minutes, but Abu getting us that equaliser. Thank goodness for that. 10 shots, 2 on target, 0.98, 54% of the possession. They had 15 shots, 3 on target, 1.65, and 46% of the possession. It's pretty even Stevens, and the result, I think, reflects that. And they weren't the best of sides, and we should have beaten them and finished our time at Edgeley Park on a high. Well, I thought we'd look at this screen, seeing as it's the final day of the season. We can see the scores and what have you a lot better. And Bristol City getting another 1-0 win against Ipswich Town to cement their playoff place. But the big results in this one is Hull City are relegated, equal points in the end, and just missed out on goal difference. They drew 0-0 with Cardiff. At 1 goal there would have made all the difference, of course. Preston losing 3-1 to Middlesbrough, so it got very close, as to Hull just sneaking it, not of their own volition, of course, but yeah, we slipped down to 10th place, which is very disappointing, that 1-1 draw, by the fact that Brighton won their match, I'm presuming. Brighton did beat Blackpool by 2-0, so we finished 10th, 2 places below where we finished last season. So the table, as it finishes up, looks awfully like this. Nottingham Forest and Sunderland are both promoted. Sunderland drawing in the end, a 1-1 with West Brom. For West Brom's point of view, it wasn't enough for them to overcome Sunderland, who've been at the top for such a long time. And Sunderland getting promoted along with Nottingham Forest. West Brom, Reading, Bristol City and Middlesbrough will compete in the playoffs. West Brom to play Middlesbrough and Reading will play Bristol City in the semi-finals. And then it's Southampton in 7th place on 74 points, same amount of points, but vastly different goal difference against Sheffield United, also on 74. Then came Brighton on 71, who pipped us by a goal. That goal that Watford scored made all the difference. So we've dropped down to 10th. Stoke in 11th on 68. Then Coventry on 64. Peterborough 61. Millwall 59. Watford 56. Derby 55. Luton 53. Blackpool 49. Cardiff 48. Queen's Park Rangers 47. Preston surviving on goal difference on 46 points. Hull also on 46, then Portsmouth and Ipswich on 22, right at the bottom. That is it, boys and girls, for our series of To Be a Legend. Join me on the next episode as we do a little bit of a deep dive, not only into the season just gone, but we'll also have a look at the previous however many seasons. I've forgotten how many seasons we've done now. And the big question is, the name of the series is To Be a Legend. Have we actually become a legend at Buxton? We'll find out in the next episode. Join me for that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all the series that are going on here. Of course, we still have Project Turnaround going on, and the chances are with FM24 really bursting the barrels, that may be one that we transfer into FM24. Who knows? Join me to find out. So that's coming up. Of course, FM24, we have a beta series that will launch pretty much as soon as the beta launches. You just need to subscribe and it'll keep you up to date with all the things that are going on. And the other way of doing it, of course, of keeping up with what's going on is to follow me on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. And you can follow me there at JustOffsideFM. What else is there to tell you? FM24, yeah, as I said, I was recording this on Friday. It's 3 weeks out from the full release. It's possible that the beta drops today. If it does, you'll be getting FM24 episodes, and you'll have seen those before this episode goes out, of course. So you'll know whether it's been the beta's dropped or not. And also we'll be looking at all the other stuff that's going on with FM24 as well. And don't forget, if you haven't bought it yet, there is a link and a code down below. You can save yourself some money, get the beta version when it comes out, and you help this channel along the way. Thank you very much for watching. We'll hope to see you for the final episode of this series. It's episode 100. It's out on Thursday, and if the beta doesn't drop today, and it hasn't dropped by next Thursday, it could be the day before the beta. We'll find out then. Till then, goodbye.